Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Cooking on Poland Daily Travel. And Nicholas and I are in the kitchen.
We're in my kitchen.
I tell you what.
What?
I don't go in the kitchen very often.
I can tell.
No,
you're a bit ill at ease in the kitchen.
I'm a bit ill at ease. I'm like a bull in a china shop.
Exactly, yes. You're lucky I'm not Gordon Ramsay.
You're throwing stuff at me.
Exactly.
I'm all thumbs in the kitchen.
That's okay.
No, I can cook an omelet. Anyway,
okay.
What we're doing is what?
Well, our bread has now, let's have a look at that. Yes, our bread has
In a previous episode, we were waiting for bread to rise.
Now Mother Nature's taken...
It's taken several days.
It hasn't. It's taken about 40 minutes. It's a warm day. So our bread has risen, so we actually just going to beat out the air so that we get an even...
We're making rolls, right?
We're making bread rolls, yeah. Now, I know from experience that this weighs about 810 grams, something like that. Yeah. Which means I'm going to make nine rolls of about 90 grams each.
There you go. Okay.
So, and I'm not experienced enough to be able to do it by eye, so I will sort of just approximately weigh it, just so I'm not too far out. So I'm going to switch the thing on.
Okay. What does it say?
111.
Too much.
Too much. I know, tell you.
You only want 9, right?
I want 90 approximately. 91, 92 is not enough.
Okay. You got 92. That's good enough.
That'll do for that one. And then I'll do it again on this one.
See if you get closer this time. It's almost worth betting on this.
That was 89.
That's fine, isn't it? You're going to put a little more?
Yeah, 89. That was quite good.
That was amazing.
Well, not my first...
It's not your first rodeo, is it?
This American chap I know. I mean,
says that?
91, that one was 91. Spot on.
You're getting better with each successive... what do we call it? Each successive... lump.
87, we'll just make it a bit more.
That was 87?
94.
94. Oh, that's all right, we can go with that. And how many do you want to get out of this?
I want to get about 9. Yeah, it's about 810, 850.
That's number 5.
850.
That's perfect.
88. 800 and whatnot grams. So 9 nines are 81. So here we got.
But sometimes if you never know, because one of the smaller gram ones could be bigger than the ones with bigger grams, couldn't it? If it's like more ambitious, or the enzymes are more active. They're not enzymes, are they?
I don't think so. 94.
It's called bacteria, isn't it, or whatever? No, it's not bacteria. What is it? In the yeast.
I'm not quite sure.
It's alive.
It is alive. Yes.
It's like Did you ever see the movie The Blob? This is what this reminds me of. A smaller blob, with Steve McQueen, his first film. Paramount, 1958.
Yeah, I remember. I don't think I actually ever watched it. But
his first film.
I remember seeing it.
Well, it's the first one he was a star in.
76. And
he's chased by a large blob through the whole town. It eats the town eventually. Yeah. So it's kind of like if we had a big blob of your rolls and it began to eat the town.
So they're each approximately 90. So what we do...
Is that 9?
Each, yeah, so we just put it down. And there we're folding the roll. So we fold it to the centre, to the centre, to the centre. Right. And then, you pull it in. From the edge to the edge. Okay,
show that, will you?
Yeah, so you're putting it in.
Yeah.
And you can see it's...
And when you get a finished product, let's show.
Finished product, yeah. Like that, you see? Yeah. And we just put that on one side, and we do the same with all of these. So
that's crazy. I never knew that making a roll could be so intricate. There are people who do this every day of their lives.
People do this every day of their lives, yeah.
Yeah. Professional bakers.
I've never been a professional baker, but I assume that the technique is...
Would you like to be?
It would be interesting to visit, yeah.
Say that you moved to a small town in France. Would you open your own bakery?
I feel they have the trouble with the small town in France. There's a shortage of bakers.
There's a shortage of bakers?
Because young people don't want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to bake the day's bread.
Good Lord, because that's when they're just going home from all their carousing on the town. Or rioting, or whatever they're doing.
Pulling it in.
Yeah.
Pulling it in. Pulling it in.
Yeah. You never know what kids will get up to today.
Pulling it in. Pulling it in.
Yeah.
Pulling it in. And then there's one more stage when we've done them all.
I led a quiet life when I was a kid. We only rioted, once every 2 years.
But it's actually quite, when you don't do it every day, it's actually quite therapeutic.
Rioting, yeah.
Yeah. And breaking bread.
And of course, breaking bread or baking?
Making bread.
You have to bake it to break it.
Yeah, and the more you do it, like anything else in life, the more practice, the more you get a feel for how it should be.
Yeah. It looks like fun, actually. It's very satisfying.
Yes.
And then you make this and you go, holy goodness, great Scott, I've made a roll, and then you can eat that. You say, boy, I made it grow like the blob.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then what happens after this? Is you going to put it in the oven?
No, it's got to rise again. Maybe not quite as long. It's quite a warm day.
Right. It's got to rise again how long?
About half an hour.
Good.
Something like that.
Okay. Well, that's breaking bread.
Hang on, I haven't finished.
Or baking bread, so we can break it. What else you got to say?
So I just want to show you there's just a final step on the shaping. Which I will, since you're in a hurry, I'll just do this. I'll show you.
We don't have to do them all.
No. But
it's a bit like watching paint dry at a certain point.
well, it's for you because you're impatient.
I'm not impatient. I'm thinking of our...
Then, because you want to actually to give it a final shape, you put it on the table.
Right.
Put your, keep your side of your hand down, and then just let it. Like
so
that.
you call that teasing the bun? Is that what that is?
You're just keeping the bottom of it underneath.
Teasing its bottom.
Yeah, you're keeping your hand on the table, and then between your thumb and your forefinger, and just your hand is cupping over it gently. And it just, you see, just gives that much wider shape.
Good Lord, it's like watching Picasso.
And then you put it on a lightly greased tray.
Looking good, Nicky.
Yeah, not bad.
Wow, and I thought you were just a smooth voice on television.
Well, there you are, you see, hidden talent.
Yeah, incredible. And a lawyer, too. He's a lawyer, too, folks. Yeah. So it's like a one-stop shop for a number of excellent attributes.
For mental and physical nourishment.
Yeah.
It's quite... Now, what you can do, I mean, the trick is...
No, just tell us like Prince Charles now.
Delighted. Now, what you can do, the trick is when you're not baking with a tin to support it.
Indeed.
You've got to get surface tension across the top of the roll.
Okay.
And we'll have a look maybe in half an hour, because you can shape it a second time just to really get that surface tension across the top.
Oh yes, that's surface tension.
Because as it rises, you want it to rise upwards, not sideways. And of course, that takes years of skill, which I haven't yet acquired.
That's incredible.
But, you know, breaded tin is easy because the side of the tin gives you all the support. But if you make something like a bloomer,
a bloomer?
A bloomer loaf. It's an old English loaf. It's very. I've made a picture on my Instagram.
A bloomer loaf. Okay.
You want it to sort of be like a tube and not sort of splay out. Okay. You want the rolls to remain sort of pert and round.
You want them pert and round.
Not sort of ideally not.
That's
sort of,
the way I like my buns.
Not so they're sort of saggy and droopy.
No, pert and round.
Pert and round.
All buns should be so.
I didn't quite. So we'll just finish these off. So that's the first bit. You do that, and you pull it in from right underneath, just to pull it right into the centre. And you're on the underside.
Flat buns are no good.
Yeah, well, this is you get them because it's just the natural. There's nothing to stop the yeast, the dough, forming sideways now. So what you can do, what I do, we'll see whether it is just to get that final round shape, is to actually shape them again, which a lot of people don't know you can do. A second time, because you'll see, we'll probably do that very quickly. After about 20, let's see what these look like after 20 minutes or so. Then we can just reshape them, and that means that when they go into the oven, they will have that really nice, they'll have retained this round shape.
Wonderful.
And they won't be like a burger bun, which is sort of flat.
Right, so in the future program, we've got baked buns, pert and round.
All being well.
All being well, and we've got a tart.
Yes.
Coming up, right?
And where did you put the tea now? Worth saying about tea towels, obviously, that's all you need to do, but use a clean tea towel. And ideally, the ones you use for bread, good idea not to wash them in your sort of lemon, your jasmine scented soap. So wash them in your washing machine with actually no soap at all. And then you can rinse them by hand with a bit of bicarbonate of soda. Soda, which means you get a nice you don't get the taste from your tea towel transforming onto the bread. Right. Which you would otherwise
don't want the soap taste.
You don't want your bread to taste of soap, ideally.
I think that's a good idea. Okay, is that anything else for now? That's it for now.
We just leave that for a few minutes.
And then you're going to put them into the...
Then they go into the oven.
Into the oven. Okay, folks, thanks for watching. We'll be back with more of tarts and... buns.
Tartan buns.
Tarts and buns.
Tarts and buns.
Round and pert.
Can't go wrong. Round and pert.
Very good. Okay. See you on the next episode of Poland Daily Travel. I'm Will Richardson, and this is Nicholas Richardson.
No relation.
No relation.